Hi, I'm Michael Monasterio. Do you ever meet anybody? Let's say that I don't know, an internet date, somebody from your church, somebody from work, somebody who you might have known, but then you didn't have a conversation with him. When you finally had a conversation with him, when they started talking, you said to yourself, "Oh gosh, here we go again." Maybe you started a new job and they promised you the world, and when you actually sat down to do the job, all you could think was, "Oh, here we go again." That's the theme of this sermon. But let me give you some backstory. To be a Puerto Rican from the Bronx, Yankee Stadium is like Disneyland. It's like a big deal to go. And you don't get to go all the time. It's expensive. Sometimes, gosh, once a year. It's an event. And family members would go. People go for their birthday. People go for, I don't know, an anniversary. It was an event. And so I grew up with that in my mind. Like some people have ideas of, I don't know, Hallmark Thanksgivings. To me, Yankee Stadium was the thing in my mind. This is the thing as a child that gave me joy to go to be in that community where everybody loved the same thing, and you were looking at your heroes, and you were communally having the joy of victory. Yankees was a good team, so we won a lot. So the feeling of that, it's almost like it's like church in a way. When I was 10, there was an event. It was the summer, and there was something going on at Yankee Stadium. And so a couple of cousins of mine were like, we're going to go down there. But I lived up north. I lived North Bronx. They lived in South Bronx. They were just going to go there, and they wanted me to meet them. So back in the old days, kids used to actually go places without their parents. You take buses, you take trains. You would actually go places, which sounds weird nowadays, but back then it was a different world. Not that things weren't happening, but there just weren't so many, and we weren't focused on them. So I remember planning my trip, and I was just going to go to the subway, figure it out, and go to the Yankee Stadium. Right. My father started this famous line that he said to me for the rest of his life. He'd say, "You can't get to Yankee Stadium on the 5 train." He'd say, and of course, it's obvious you have to transfer at some point, 149th Street, and transfer for the D, and then that would take you directly to Yankee Stadium. Obviously, but then after different times of my life, he'd say that all the time. Can't get to Yankee Stadium on the 5 train, he'd say. If I had a girlfriend he didn't like, he'd say, "Oh, can't get to Yankee Stadium on the 5 train," he'd say. The idea that you, in your mind, you have this goal and this place you want to be, this place of joy, right? The promised land, heaven, that place inside of you that you look forward to and you plan on going. And it's always in the back of your mind when you're doing stuff. That is the point. So the day comes. I actually get on the train. And because I'm kind of a daydreaming guy now. My head's always full of something. I'm reading a book or something. Unless I'm really physically doing what I'm doing, my mind tends to wander. So I'm wandering and I get lost, right? I'm on the train. I somehow tells me I've been on the train way too long. And I look up and I can't, I don't know where I am now. I don't know the names of the stops. And there's, there's, there's an older gentleman on the train. And back in the old days, you would talk to people. Young kids would talk to older people. It wasn't like they were going to abduct me from the mall or something. Although it happened, like I said, and I actually had issues, but not every single person, not every single interaction was like that. And somehow you still had the faith to say, "Hey, listen, I'm lost. Can you help me?" So he tells me how to get there. He tells me actually a shorter cut to get there, instead of going all the way down to this certain stop and come back all the way. I had to go to Manhattan and come back. He said, if you take this one and get off at this stop and go to this stop, then you walk 6 blocks, that'll put you in Yankee Stadium. He says, now don't forget what I told you. He says, don't forget to get off at this stop. It's this many stops. He counts in his hands. He tells me where to go. He tells me where to go back. I do exactly what he says. The day is saved. I get to see my cousin. We have a wonderful day. It's a wonderful childhood memory. Okay, back to the original story. Now, if I was on that train, like nowadays, like many times in my life, and I say, "Oh, here we go again. I'm always daydreaming. I'm not paying attention. Oh, let's just get off of this train. Let's just get off of here because it's not going to take me where I want to go." And sometimes you just go along for the ride, right? Sometimes you just go along with it because you're so used to being on that wrong track. Some people burn years of their life doing the same nonsense they did, going to the same wrong location because they just get used to it. And they say, here we go again. Their life is a cycle of here we go again, almost like a merry-go-round or something where you see the same sights again and again. When if in your mind, in your heart, the place that God put in you to go, right? Your promised land, your place of space, your joy. Our souls are a compass that lead to that God space, that divine space. You can't forget where you want to go, and you have to plan the steps to get there. And yes, you can get on the 5 train to get you to Yankee Stadium. Well, you can, but you have to transfer. And if you do transfer and you make the wrong stop, you have to get off of that train. You have to get where you're supposed to go to get where you go. Don't lose the hope of where you're really supposed to end up, or don't let the circumstances change where you decide to go in the first place, because that desire, that initial desire, is from God. God placed the God compass in us to find that joy spot. You're supposed to be in that relationship you want. Yes, you're supposed to have that job you want. You're supposed to have that career that you want. You're supposed to live in that place that you want. You're supposed to have the relationships you want. Yes, the friends, the family, the church, the whatever. You're supposed to have that. That desire is natural and it's from God. It's when we let circumstances in life take us off our path and make us feel like I'll never get there, and we give up. The whole thing that I'm going through right now in my life, I have so many challenges and obstacles. And some part of me just says, I can't do it. Here we go again. Here I go again. And all the stupid choices I made during my life, all the stupid choice to get off of the train or sit on the train and just ride it to the end, or just whatever, out of frustration, out of habit. I know that when I woke up this morning, I have my goal, and my goal is to preach this sermon. And I have been unable to preach this sermon because of where my head was at. So I had to get back, wake up, and say, I'm going to Yankee Stadium, no matter what happens. And I want you to remember that person that was on the way that told me, hey, you're lost. Let me help you get to where you want to go. That's what I'm here for. That's what a preacher's here for. That's what you do for other people. Help them find that space where they're lost. I'm not telling anybody where that space is or how they should do it, but don't lose hope. Listen for that voice and trust that that initial desire and that hope to be at that joy spot, at your Yankee Stadium, at your Disneyland, at your Hallmark Christmas, whatever your thing is, that joy is from God. Don't lose hope for that. You create your consciousness one thought at a time. And when I overcome all these obstacles, and I will, I'm doing one right now by overcoming this obstacle. When I overcome all the obstacles in my life, and I am doing exactly what I'm supposed to do, and my mission in life, which I came here to do, which is preach, and I reach the numbers of people I will tell you, remember this time, and remember that sermon, because I am you and you are me. And that is the truth. And the truth shall make you free. I love you guys so much.